everybody. I'm Robert Alaniz, and of course, this is Johnny B.
Hello, everyone.
This time, we're going to be talking about something pretty cool, something that John had told me about a while back, and I'm going to let him kind of tell you how that all happened. Do you remember when you first told me that there was a box?
I saw it on either Elvis Day by Day or Elvis Information Network. They always show all the new releases, whatever he's... And I saw the 60. I said, what the heck is this? You know, the 69 invitational box. You know, the giveaway box in 60 for the guests. And I said, wow, someone's duplicating the 69 box. Then I didn't know if it was going to be like an exact copy or what it was going to be, but I thought it was really cool. When I saw it, I said, man, that might be something I might be interested in getting, you know.
Now, this box he's talking about is the box that I showed on the episode I had with my guest, Neil Spencer, where we were showing you all of his EPE memorabilia, and then I showed you he had gotten a 69 International Hotel box. If you don't know what it is, it was a special box that was made to be given out as a souvenir at Elvis's opening night performance. We showed what the box looked like, and when we opened it up, if you remember, there were 2 albums inside. There was the NBC TV special album, and then there was also the From Elvis in Memphis album. And those 2 albums were put in this box, and then it had a letter, and it had, you know, different odds and ends of things. Was it before that or after that you had told me that you had seen somewhere that they made a bootleg of the box, right?
Yeah,
that's what we first thought, right?
Yes.
So we thought it was a bootleg.
This was long before. This was announced.
Yeah, that was actually before, right?
No, that was before you did that. Yes,
right. Okay. So if you remember from the last episode, folks, I was saying how much I'm not a big fan of all the bootlegging that's going on with all the albums that are coming out and everything. And there were a lot of comments where people had said, well, you know, the MRS, which is Memphis Recording Service, yeah, which also is Joe Pizzata. I remember when he was making stuff, God, back in the early 90s, I think. He was making CDs and, you know, all kinds of things. And then, of course, then he got locked into the CDs and they started selling. And he got more creative. He added books to them and, right, little page books, booklets and stuff.
45s, he did samples of Sun. Remember the Sun?
Oh, that's right.
Sun 45s,
the 10-inch,
the 10-inch,
the clear vinyl and black vinyl. But he, in many ways, he was kind of the innovator of and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it again, the bootleg market, because he was taking material that either was released or I think most of it was released, don't you think?
Yeah, most of it.
But he always claimed that the sound quality was better. But I just want you to know that this was his key selling point to every single thing he did. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, everything he did, he always said, oh, you're not going to believe the quality is fantastic. This will Follow That Dream away, and blah, 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 blah. And I mean, the hype was incredible. So when you first told me that there was going to be a box set, what was my reaction?
No big deal. No big deal. You know.
In a way, I was kind of like, oh no.
Yeah. How much is it? How much? I said, oh, it's going to be about $300 or $400 American. So I'm not going to get that.
Right. But, I mean, I was completely turned off because I thought, oh God, that's all we need is another. You know, now they're going to bootleg the International Hotel box sets, and that was my first reaction, and that's what I thought. I had received a phone call from a gentleman from the company is what again?
Gravel Road. From
Gravel Road. And he had contacted me, and he started explaining about how this box set was not a duplication of the original box set, but it was more of a tribute to the original, to 1969, the year 1969, as a matter of fact. It was actually to promote Elvis by invitation only.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the book, and there's more of these, right, John? Why don't you tell?
Oh, the Gravel Road. Well, yeah,
tell me.
Gravel Road has been they've been around for a long time, and they've been, you know, they have various. They're pictured here in the book, I believe, but they basically CDs. But all of their CDs were high quality because they were soundboards, basically.
Right.
You know, they were not audience recordings.
Right.
You know, like a lot of the boots, like the others. So they were, you know, I had some in the past, so they're very good. They're very, you know, they're good quality shows. I don't know if some of them were released by FTD previously as well. Perhaps I'm not 100% sure on if some of their stuff was the first time. It could have been.
It's hard to keep track of that.
I can't say. I'm not an expert in that.
And there's so much of that stuff coming out. How the hell do you even remember, this show, that show? Because Follow That Dream would call it a nickname. They would give it a nickname for the album or the release, right? Whereas some of these would just simply say, well, that's the show from, was there one from
73? They would be from
Boston?
Yes, that were, I don't know, there's some from 73. Well, God, it's right here in the book.
Yeah.
They're right here. Boston Garden, Vegas Rhythm, In Concert. That must be the 77. What's this like?
Yeah, that's the 77 concert.
Oh, Love American Style.
The cool thing about it is it comes with 2 CDs, all right, in the front. Okay, and these CDs, you can't see them all that well. I could put it here. They're gold. They're gold CDs. Now, is this kind of like That's the Way It Is? Remember when That's the Way It Is came out on a gold CD?
Yeah, the gold.
I believe the gold means that the quality is better. But anyway, there's 2 CDs. That's the first one, and the second one is here. Okay, and like I said, they're both gold. All right, and then in the back, there is a, let me see, is that a Blu-ray?
It's a Blu-ray.
So I know some of this footage is available online. You can see it on YouTube or whatever. From what I understand, basically this was 8mm footage that he put together in such a way where it's like a little documentary. So I believe there's commentary and all that stuff. And unfortunately, I haven't had time to watch it. I've been so busy. But that's what this is all about. So it's kind of cool. That means that this whole book is specifically about opening night.
69.
In 69,
July.
69, in July of 69.
And Elvis first appeared.
With the book came this 45. This is a 45 that's included with the package. And one side is Suspicious Minds, and the other side is In the Ghetto. Pretty cool, because and I like the fact that he selected the 2 songs that were really the big hits for Elvis. It's colored vinyl, as you can see. It's kind of green, isn't it?
He said opaque, but it's icy green. But
I think it was. He said it was opaque.
Unless it's the lights.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was yellow. Yeah. But I mean, I guess
it almost looks like lime green to me, right. Unless I'm colorblind or something.
Well, it might be. But the interesting thing about the single is, I believe he told me they're all different colors.
You just randomly get whatever color they send.
Right. All. Usually, I think it's usually they have one color and that's it, right? For the set. This is the box right here. It's still in the original shipping box. Okay, so we're going to open this thing up and show everybody what it looks like. All right. So you might want to help me, John. Just turn it up like this, and then let me grab it, and then you pull the box. All right. Okay, and then take off the corners, the shipping corners, and. Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Elvis is in the building.
Elvis is in the building.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So this is the box. In the corner it says, this promotional VIP box set is for the upcoming book, Elvis by Invitation Only. And then it says it includes detailed samples of content and more. This really was made to promote the book. On the back here, you'll see there's a little thing on the corner. Can you read what it says?
It says GRM.
Gravel Road?
Yeah. INT 158 of 600.
Let's open it up and show everybody what's inside.
If it was a slipcover, you could just leave it on, but you have to open it up all the way to...
Yeah, you're right.
You have to lift the box lid off.
Yeah, you're just going to have to...
So there's just no way you can leave the shrink on.
Yeah, this is one of those exceptions to the rule about shrink wrap, folks. But the good news is the sticker is not on the shrink.
No.
So you'll see as we take off the shrink wrap...
This is not something you want to buy anyway and leave sealed. You got to...
No.
If you want to enjoy it...
Yeah,
you got to open it up and see everything. Otherwise, it's just stupid to.
Right.
I mean, I generally leave most of my albums and stuff sealed.
Why
but
even
something like this, you have to.
And John, here everything's sealed.
You got to open it. And unless because you buy 2 or 3 of them, then you could leave one sealed, and man, that's beautiful.
So there it is.
Really high glossy.
Yeah, that's
this sticker. I like that this is right on the box.
Yeah, the sticker's on the box, and the back one.
You don't lose that either.
The back one is on the box too.
You don't lose them.
So you know what? I'm sure that's what he thought of. He says, well, they're going to take the shrink off, so I can't put the sticker on the shrink. I got to put it on the box.
No, this way you lose it.
And of course, the sticker, like I said, it tells you what you got. Okay, because if I'm correct, there are actually 3 box sets. There's a gold one they call like a gold. And the top part where it says International Hotel presents Elvis is gold instead of white, okay? And then the vinyl inside is clear, like crystal clear. The way he described it was it's almost like glass when you look through it, okay? Now, this is not the gold box. This is not the special 25.
There was only 25, it said.
Only
Those
20
were given to... friends.
Right. Those were basically some
of him
giveaways that he would give away.
Yes.
Okay. The 600, there were 600 made of this, and we're going to find out whether it's black or colored. But then there's black vinyl. There's another, either the black or the colored vinyl there's 375. So this one says 600. So we're going to open up and see what we got. All right. So let's see if we can get the box.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
The first thing we pull out is a replica of, I believe this is the invitation to the to the opening night, and that's a reproduction of the envelope. And wow, this is, I don't know what this is. There's another envelope with something else in it. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a little invitation or a card. You see that?
Yeah, that's really cool. You had to send that back in, didn't you?
Okay.
As your response if you were coming, isn't that what it is?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. That's what it is, because you have to sign it, and you fill out all the information. So
RSVP.
So this is
RSVP.
Right, RSVP. That's right. And that's Carol in the background again, folks. What's interesting too is notice how it looks like there's a stamp. He made it look like an International Hotel stamp.
Yeah.
And look
look
at the address.
Yeah.
Mr. Alex Shufi. So this was, you're right, this must be the return card.
Well, what is? Yeah, you have to fill it out. It says maybe how many guests are going to come.
They send you the invitation. This is the invitation. When I first saw Al DeVorn stuff, he had an invitation like this. But I think the one he had was for the 70 concerts, because this does not look like the one that Al had. But anyway, this is a reproduction. It's kind of cool. It's got this kind of orange thing, just like the other one. And then there's the picture of Elvis inside, and it says International Hotel Las Vegas, and it has the dates. What does it say here? Elvis and International Hotel take pleasure in inviting you and your lady to our opening show, July 31st, 1969. So anyway, that's the invitation. And then that is the return.
Yes.
The return
That's
envelope.
really cool.
Yeah. And now, folks, this is an example of something that did not come in the 69 box. This is what was mailed to people that they were inviting. I guess Cliff Robertson, Sammy Davis Jr. got one of these, right? Yeah. I would imagine. Okay.
Probably.
I forgot to put this back. Okay, put the invitation back in there. Okay. So there's that. Now, let's see. What is this?
That's their brochure, I think.
This is a gravel road catalog.
Catalog.
Right? It's a catalog.
It's got
there you go.
All their releases. They've been doing great stuff for many, many, many years. They've been putting out.
There's the books that they've been putting out and everything. So it just goes to show you that the books were first.
The books. Oh, yeah. Well, there was always books and CDs. Right. That's why when I saw this, I got excited because, wait a minute, now they're getting into the vinyl craze.
Right.
And because they've always had CDs.
Which I think I believe he told me he was kind of talked into doing that. So I don't think that was for sure.
It was well worth it.
But look, here's a you remember that one? Bicentennial 76?
And no, I'm not familiar with all of theirs. Some of this, I don't know when they first started.
Yeah.
Could tell their years. I don't know if it has dates.
Vegas Rhythm?
Yeah, I remember Vegas Rhythm.
Really?
Yeah, they had like regular CDs.
Yeah, it
and
looks
jewel
like, I was going to say, there's
too.
regular
no,
CDs.
they were, they weren't, they didn't start with the books. I believe they had regular, CD
They had
cases.
regular CDs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. All right. So this is a catalog from Gravel Road. Now let's get back to what's in here. Here is an envelope that says compliments Elvis and the Colonel. So let's see what's in here. I already have kind of an idea of what's in here. Again, this was not in the box set, the original one. So here, I'm going to take this out piece at a time. Now this looks familiar. Mm-hmm. This, folks, was in the 69 box. This is the catalog. And I think we showed it on the show with Neil. But, my God, look at this. Mm. How would you be able to tell this?
I don't, that's what I was.
Oh, my God.
That's the one thing I was curious about, how you could tell between an original of that and this, if there's anything.
I think he told me that after he had made it, he realized he didn't put a new date on it. Because look, it says 69 RCA.
Yeah, see, that's what I was, or if I was wondering if it would say Gravel Road on it somewhere, but it says printed USA RCA 69. It's even got the serial number.
I know.
If that's cool.
I mean, you want to talk about exact reproduction? That's
pretty cool.
I mean, I've had many of these in the past. I mean, that's a dead ringer for the original.
That's amazing quality.
So we'll put that there. Okay, now comes the photo. Now everybody knows this photo. This is this came with from Elvis in Memphis, bonus photo. So there's the photo reproduction, and you can tell the paper. Look at the paper; it's not textured.
Oh, okay.
So this you can tell is not the original. So there's no passing that off.
They were textured. Those were all.
They were textured. Yeah, they definitely were. Yeah. And then here's the other photo. This was the photo that was given away at the Singer Sewing Centers. You remember that?
Yeah, that picture.
That was the picture that
not the back.
Kind of went with Flaming Star.
Yeah, that one with the Flaming Star.
Yeah. Now the backs though have the promotion for the International Hotel. Now, I know for a fact that this one for sure had a promotion on the back. We actually had these at one time, right, Carol? So I can't remember. Was this on the front? I can't remember. Or was it one of those black and white ones? I don't know. But anyway, they're kind of cool. Now, notice this. Remember we were saying that's from Flaming Star. Look at the upper corner. It says International Hotel on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, so, they use the same photo, but it's a different.
Right. So I don't know if this is a replication of something that he found. Maybe they had a photo like that said International Hotel at the top. I don't know.
I'm assuming.
But I know this one didn't. And like I said, this one I remember just said 1969 on the back. This one says Elvis now. These are replicas of those black and white RCA Victor photos that were promotional photos that I think were given away sometimes even in stores, not just Vegas. Okay. On the back, nothing on either one. Now here's interesting because I mentioned this. I mentioned this on when Neil was here. I remember saying, "Boy, it would be hard to duplicate this letter," and it really is because this paper is white. Examine it.
Yeah.
Is that that is white?
Yep.
That's like brand new white paper.
I've never seen the original of this letter in person.
Oh,
so well, I couldn't. I mean,
the original is kind of vanilla. It's kind of a vanilla white, you know. So, but anyway, here is the reproduction. Now let's see if it's accurate. It should be 8 pages. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, there it is. So apparently,
he must have had
access to one of the letters. Feel that? That's just like
It's like cool, but it's
paper that you put in your printer, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, an archivist type person,
right?
Could tell you if
Oh
this
yeah,
is
yeah. You can tell right away.
Papers has dates. I mean, they would be able. There's no way, that you would be able to know.
Yeah, you could tell right away. All right, we'll put these back later. Carol and I went to Las Vegas one time. We were going through an antique mall, and remember this?
Yep.
We found this in an antique mall, folks. This is the promotional poster for Suspicious Minds. Now, of course, this is not the real one, but look at the reproduction of this. Now, at the bottom, it still says 1969.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, was the original have this on the back too, or is that different?
No,
that
and I think that's how you can he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
but on the back of the poster, it says, Elvis in person, compliments of the Colonel and Elvis. Okay, and then on the lower half of the poster is the shot from 68 Comeback, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Okay, so here is the poster. That's the poster itself, right? And then if you turn it around, that's what it looks like on the back. Pretty cool.
And I just when you get to it, I just realized something.
Uh-oh, what?
Oh my God.
What?
When you show the paper. When you show the next, that's the coat.
Yeah, that's
the coat that the Colonel Parker was wearing. Oh
yeah, you're right. It is.
It's a
Let's see if we can get
sorry,
this.
folks. It's the album.
Let's see if we can
comes
get this
inside.
out of here.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh man, how do we get this out?
We have to dump
like
it
that.
Out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Careful.
I think there's an inner.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, was that inside the? No, that wasn't.
No,
in that
this
box.
was not.
No,
this was not in the box set. Like I said,
this just slips off.
This is pretty cool. Look at that. It says "My Best Elvis Presley." And that's obviously the thing that holds the record, because what we're going to look at now is the record. But what John is talking about is the Colonel wore a jacket.
Yeah.
And I think it's pictured in the book.
It's pictured in the book.
Yeah.
Where he's wearing.
He wore a jacket
with all of that.
With all of this stuff written all over the jacket. And he did that lots of times. He did a Fun and Acapulco one.
That's neat. I have to tell you, Gravel Road Team, I just realized that. I wouldn't have read if I hadn't seen the picture, but now that I saw the picture of Colonel wearing that coat.
You see there's a gold seal.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Just like the kind of seals you'd put on a card, like from Hallmark. Those stickers to hold the thing in place. So here's the sticker. So we don't want to mess that up.
That's really cool. That's very clever.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that.
Well, he came up with that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's clever.
Gravel Road came up with that. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, I know that, but I don't know if it was.
All right. Now, John, this is really delicate. So
let me hold the album.
Hold the album and let me slowly. You got it?
Yep.
All right. I am never going to get this back on.
Yeah, that's.
You know that.
That's going to be tough.
Okay.
Now this is,
and folks,
this really blew me away.
This is
when
the
I
album.
saw this is really cool.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that incredible? I have seen pictures like this, but it's not the same picture.
I've seen that somewhere, but I don't remember the CD. It's on a. I believe it's on a CD. Somewhere,
I mean,
but I don't remember.
I don't think it's this exact shot.
The Return of a Prodigy.
Is that what it says?
That's the name of the album.
I was very pleasantly surprised to see this. I was worried, again, with the bootlegging and everything. I thought it was going to be a reproduction of the 68 Comeback or the NBC special and from Elvis in Memphis. But when I saw this, I went, wow. And that's the front, and then here's the back.
That's cool.
Now, that's another shot of Elvis that I don't recall. Do you recall seeing that shot?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think I have, but I just don't know. Where.
It's kind of hard to say. Now, of course,
that just slides off too, I believe.
Okay, we have to open it or get in there somehow.
I think that's it's a slip cover. You just slide it down. It just slides off, I believe, off to the side there. Pull it down if you. I believe so.
You believe wrong.
I thought I saw it on
No,
the
here,
show.
look, here it is. It's like a Japanese sleeve.
Oh.
See?
You sure?
Yeah, it comes off.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm mistaken.
Yeah, this has got to be like.
I thought.
Bear with us here, folks. I don't want to damage. This thing's so beautiful. I don't want to damage it.
This is like Christmas morning.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what Neil always said whenever he gets them.
This
It's
is
like Christmas every morning.
I thought in the other.
All right, it's like it's like a Japanese sleeve.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese.
I
thought it slid. I thought it just had a slip cover.
Yeah,
too,
in case anybody could see. See, it's a Japanese sleeve, right? I mean,
yeah.
as long as you're careful, you can reuse it. I would imagine.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can. Ooh, okay. Just set it right there. Okay.
Now look at the quality of that album.
So here it is.
Wow.
And also let me note on the back what it says. It says recorded at International Hotel Las Vegas, August 3rd, 1969 dinner show. Now that's a little odd, isn't it? Didn't the invitation say July
31st?
29th or 31st?
Yeah, I thought.
I wonder, that's kind of odd.
What show is this? What show is
This says it's August 3rd.
August 3rd.
So maybe it's a different show than the CD. I don't know.
I guess so.
It's a trifold. So here, you got that end? Hold on to that, and then I'll open this.
Yes. That's gorgeous.
And there it is.
Wow.
There's some kind of a letter thing printed on the cover, signed by Alex Schufe, Elvis Presley, and the Colonel, I guess. What does that letter say?
Let's see. Elvis Presley appearance for a period of 5 years, 70, 74, 2 times a year for the total of 10 engagements. Each engagement it's a contract.
Yeah,
basically.
it's a contract.
It's an agreement that this is what he's going to do. For each engagement, Mr. Presley will receive $500,000 for a total of $5 million for 10 engagements.
Wow.
He got $5 million for 10. A bonus of 50,000 is to be paid to Mr. Presley for signing the agreement. He got 50 grand just for signing the agreements.
Oh, wow. So you can see it's a trifold cover. Of course, it got a little bit of a glare because it's sitting straight up, but oh well, just got to deal with it. Now, the big question, is it colored or is it black and white?
You got the...
It's color. It's color, folks.
So the color was 600.
The color ones were
This
600.
one is red. It's red and gold.
Red and gold. All right, you take out the red and show everybody, and I'll take out the gold. Okay, bring yours in. There you go. So there you go. Now, look, that label, come on. That label is cool.
Yeah.
Hey, look it. It's my shirt.
It reminds me of those Japanese, remember that set of 10 Elvis Japanese albums that came out? And
right.
It had a custom label, and it was kind of like this.
It was an anniversary set.
Yeah, there was an anniversary set.
And I think there were 10 or 12 of them?
Yeah, there was 10 or 12 albums.
You're right.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Beautiful. 180, got to be 180 gram at least.
Minimum. Oh, yeah.
Maybe even
definitely.
Maybe 200 gram, but 180.
Yeah, wow.
Beautiful.
So is this opaque?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see. You can see through it.
This is kind of,
but they're gorgeous.
Kind of
gold.
I think it's gold.
Hey, that's golden.
That looks like gold to me.
Yeah,
and what is yours? Purple?
Like a purplish red. Yeah, like a purplish.
Yeah, you got like a pinkish, a dark pink.
Yeah,
is what that looks like.
And they're polyline sleeves too for protection.
Wow.
Better than RCA Sony ever gives you. They give you those. Sony Legacy gives you those crappy, pieces of inner sleeve, that put lint all over your record. These are beautiful.
And like I said, the other set, the special set that he made 25 of, these records are clear.
Yeah.
He told me that you could look through the vinyl. He said it's almost like looking through glass. These are, wow.
Beautiful album. Beautiful craftsmanship.
You know what's funny, too, is I know this was made as a promotional thing for the book, but, this piece stands alone as, I think just about any vinyl collector would want one of these. Even though it's not a legitimate RCA release, it doesn't matter. I think Gravel Road did
Gravel Road was music. Gravel Road music.
Amazing.
I give you
amazing
a high
job.
Yeah.
And let me just say, folks, in response to what I said on my last show, I was very adamant about bootlegs and the massive amount of stuff that's coming out, and I still am. I still think it's crazy. I still think there's too much of it coming out. And you agree now, right?
I mean, unless you're very, very wealthy and can get everything.
Right.
But otherwise, you got to pick and choose. And this is something you want to choose because this is, like I said, as my mama said, there's two kinds of things, first class and no class. This is first class.
This is first
class. Ray and the Gravel Road Music Team, high mark.
So what I'm saying in respect to that is this is not, to me, a bootleg in the same sense where people are just making something to make money. This was done, I know from talking to Ray, that this was done it started off as just a promotional idea, and it just, he even said, I went too far. He said, next thing I know, I was making this, I was making that, and then I made the box. I think he told me he started off where it was just going to be an album. And the album was going to be given away with the box. But he said he made the album, and then he thought, oh, maybe cool, put it in a box. And then he put it in a box. And then, we got all these pictures of all this other stuff, like the poster and the invitation. So let's put that in there.
You know what this is? This is a cool time capsule of 1969. For those who were lucky enough to be there and get one of the original box and everything.
He took his idea and made something unique.
Yep.
So I would say this album and this box is an exception to my rant in the last show. But it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
That's right.
And it's
perfect.
It's heavy. So we're not going to put this back in there because we can do that separately.
You'll have to do that later.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
The shipping on this, I believe, is around $50.
Yeah.
So you're paying around $300
or more.
And you're paying around $300 in one place I saw, and it was, I think my friend Gary was going to order, it was like $349 it was going to cost.
Yeah.
So he said it was roughly $305 and then another $45.50 for the shipping.
So you live here in the United States. Everything's a lot more expensive than it is over there. We can't just walk in a store and pick up the latest import or whatever.
They charge for it, and like I said, my average bill is $30 to $40 for anything I get overseas.
Yeah,
2 or 3 albums or whatever it is. It's
And not only that, but I went on the website to look at Joe Pizzata's albums, the MRS albums. They're not cheaper. They're expensive.
No, they run you about, if you order them
$50 or $60.
If you get them from Elvis Australia, they'll run you two if they're gatefold double albums.
Yeah,
it'll run you about $110, $150.
Yeah, so they're not,
$120.
they're not necessarily cheaper.
They're beautiful, but I like Joe's stuff. They're high quality stuff too. But again, you pay for high quality.
Yeah.
But then again, there's a lot of cheap stuff out there. Like if you get some of the other ones, like the Wax Times and some of those, they're
right.
$15, $20. But then again, if you order them,
the quality's not there. They just change the covers, and a lot of them are like that. And obviously the MRS albums are, maybe I still like FTDs. I still like them, but they're in competition with them. But they're also in competition price-wise too, because they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
And especially if you live in the United States, they are definitely not.
Well,
cheap.
the FTDs are $65 now.
I know.
And by the time you pay shipping, even if you get it from Graceland, you're going to pay about $75, $80.
$75, yeah.
Yeah, with the tax.
They've gone up. But you know what? I think Follow That Dream went up in their prices because they saw what was going on with the bootlegs, and they're going, well, God, if MRS is getting $60 for theirs, so I mean, we could jack ours up because we're Follow That Dream.
Yeah. So. It's an expensive hobby, folks.
It's crazy.
That's what it is.
It's crazy. But you even admit you don't do it much anymore.
No, I buy certain select things and certain labels, and that's what I buy now. But that's why I'm impressed with this box, because it's like, if I'm going to invest $350, this is worth getting.
That's worth
because
getting,
it's just great quality. There's a store called Benny's 50s store, and I believe they have.
And is that the one in Australia?
No, they're in the Netherlands. Elvis Australia, I think, had it, but they might have sold out. Oh, Chris in England has them. The London shop, I believe, still has them too. They're available.
I thought it was the Elvis shop.
Is it the Elvis shop? No, I think it's called the London shop, actually.
Well,
Elvis London shop.
The London Elvis shop, or something like that.
Something like that. I think it is. Yeah. I believe the box is still available. You can still purchase it.
I have known Chris Giles since 1987. I always got along great with Chris. I loved the stuff that he had, and he always had interesting stuff. He came to Memphis. He bought a lot of stuff from me.
Aren't they? He tell you that they're working on the 70s box.
Well, all I know is
that a possibility?
all I know is there's a 70s book in the works.
Oh, okay.
Okay, which I plan on helping him with some photos and information about that.
You know, hopefully they'll.
Right.
Hopefully they will do it.
It's a great box, and we're really, really happy about it. And thank you to Ray for sending us a promotional copy so we can show it on the show. Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Robert Alaniz, Johnny B, and we're gone.